I'm Leonanicholeblack, and I am here to bring you some tarot therapy. It's been a while since I've kind of sat and done a recording, not live, but yesterday I felt inspired to do a series of tweets online around feminine and masculine energy and some of the conflations I'm seeing and some of the miscommunications or misrepresentations of what I believe that really is, especially when it comes to our intimate and sexual relationships. And so I am calling this the reason your relationships are fucked up, okay? Because what I want to do is kind of go a bit deeper on some of the concepts I shared around what we're experiencing in our sexual relationships as it pertains to what we think feminine and masculine energy is now. What I'm going to do really is just kind of share this teaching, let's call it, as a basic foundation and an idea. We will have to keep coming back to it and start teasing out what we mean when we say feminine and it's not gender, because we use those words quite interchangeably. So even I at times will be talking about energy only, and then sometimes I will be talking about gender, or specifically those born into male or female bodies, womanhood, manhood, all those terms. So it's likely that we will get a little lost in the woods, so to speak. But I just think it's important for me to at least lay the foundation, and then we can start working kind of backwards and thinking about how we tease this masculine feminine energy apart and really understand it at a close lens. So I wonder if I should actually I'll probably put the tweet on the screen so you can read it. But for now, I think I'll jump straight into the reading. So Divine Spirit, thank you so much for the blessing of the journey that you've taken me through, the gifts that you've given me to be able to even understand and be able to share and articulate and communicate this to this community. I ask that you be here now, really speak through me. I call on the Elegua energy so that I can really articulate this in a way that is meaningful, in a way that is productive, in a way that opens roads, in a way that liberates for others. I call on my archangels, my guides, my honorable ancestors. May this be a process that is healing for me and others. May the people who are really needing this message be led, shown, and drawn to it. Remove away the energies of interference. May this be a blessing to many. May this bring healing to our relationships. May this open up new conversations, Ashe. Okay, so this morning I actually sat and kind of asked for a bunch of questions about our love relationships and how we're experiencing different things. And then, as I normally do when I am doing readings for myself, I took loads of notes on all the cards, and I was like, I'm going to share this. So I have all the cards out already, and I'm going to kind of go through what I am seeing. So let's start here. The first card that I was really shown was this Seven of Cups, divorce energy, and then the Temperance energy here, speaking about the alchemical balance, right, of feminine masculine energy that we should be having in our relationships. What we're really experiencing, however, is this divorce energy. It is this drowning in each other. It's coming together in ways that actually pulls each other down. It's particularly in terms of our emotional patterns, our emotional templates, and the way that we engage with each other. This is actually resulting in failure, okay? A lot of failed relationships, a lot of failed attempts at connection, a lot of failed attempts at maintaining family here, and there is major need for healing with the Star card. We really need to heal this. This is not what we want, okay? This kind of love addiction. Okay, and like I said, it is really, I love it actually. It was very specific. I was specifically called to this deck because I feel like some of the visualizations of the images, the animation in it is perfect for exploring the dynamics I'm talking about here. So this kind of drowning each other is a major issue, and it's kind of what I was critiquing when we're talking about feminine and masculine energy in ways that is about almost outsourcing half the balance, right? Outsourcing one side of this to the other person. So either it's, you know, I'm super feminine, therefore all of the things that are related to masculinity, okay, like security, logic, action, I get in relationships with others, so I expect that energy from me. Or someone's very dominantly masculine and they have status in the world, or they tend to take action, they're builders, and therefore they expect all of the emotional, intuitive, sensory work to be done by their partner. And this is the problem, okay? And so we are actually needing to cultivate and balance that for ourselves as individuals, not seeking that as a substitute in others, so that when we come together in relationships, it is a whole creative force amplified. Okay, it is like I am tapped into my personal feminine and masculine energy as a divine expression of creativity. Okay, I am like a reflection of God, and then so are you. And so if my creative power is 100 and your creative power is 100, then we come together and we amplify our creativity. Creativity here meaning manifestation. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. That's what is needed. Now, some of us really actually do have higher perspective of that with the Two of Swords, the Peace card here. So this is almost with the blindfold. It's like we see what is, well, we know with the swords, we have knowledge of what is really happening in the two energy, the partnership energy. But with that blindfold around the eyes here, in this card, we are almost turning inward to have a deeper assessment or analysis of what is happening and what needs to happen or change. Okay, so one of the things that we are aware of, those of us with with the insight, is the karmic energy here, and sorry, in the form of the Hangman card, and this the blocks that are coming up in partnership, and then how that affects the feminine energy generally speaking. But in this particular case, I do mean women specifically and those in female bodies, okay, because this is also really part of the patriarchal system to subordinate women. So women are bearing a lot of the brunt, a lot of the pressure in relationships, okay, where instead of having this Three of Pentacles energy, okay, this is a balance in creative energy, two parties, and the third energy or trinity. We might think about, okay, me, you, and God's spirit between us. Instead of having this energy, what we're seeing is the breakdown of the three, the feminine energy or the woman in the situation having to take up a lot of that responsibility. And this is really stemming with the Three of Wands here from deeper spiritual illness. Okay, there is stuff going on with this fire energy at the spiritual level that then is kind of reproduced or materialized at the physical level in our day-to-day experiences, looking like this. And what are those things? Well, it is feeling stuck, feeling trapped, and it is the energy of futility, okay? Feeling like we can't get our needs met, feeling like the templates that we have for love and partnership keep leading to disconnection or pain or abandonment or trauma, wounding, and so on and so on. Whilst we have awareness of what is happening behind the scenes on the spiritual level, and then how that kind of is seen manifest, let's say, in the physical, through the High Priestess energy, okay, many of us also have or are beginning to bring through, to perceive, to intuit the kinds of energies and dynamics that are necessary to create from a balanced place. Okay, we've got 6 and 6 here, reflecting that balance. 6 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. So this 6 of Cups card, I'll bring it a bit closer for you, but you can see two partners working together here with joy. This card is literally called pleasure. Okay, so it's the pleasure of balanced partnership. This card is also called success. Okay, so this is about success and growth that we're able to achieve together based on the 4 cups that we show up with each partner. So if we think about that creative energy, and even in terms of numerology, that creative energy being represented by the 3 vibration, then in this 6, both parties in this relationship come with their 3 cups. Okay, amplify creativity, as I'm talking talking about bringing balance to the partnership. So one of the big things that comes up a lot in the discourse is around not even just masculine energy, but men specifically, those in male bodies needing to provide, right? Needing to be financial providers, needing to be secure in terms of their economics. That is their foundational function in a relationship. And, you know, there's some spiritual communities, there's this argument that, you know, patriarchy aside, or feminist perspectives aside even, that is the principal function of the man in a relationship. So this is one of the things that irks me, if I'm being honest, and also what I was talking to Spirit about this morning. I was like, is this accurate? Is this the true reflection of the balanced partnership that is the spiritual union, let's say? And so really, the cards that we've got here, Ace of Pentacles and the Justice card here. So this Ace of Pentacles actually was representing what the male / masculine energy brings to partnership, and then this Justice card is actually talking about the imbalance that currently exists, okay? The need to bring more balance to partnerships. I'm going to talk about both sides. So starting with the masculine energy, and I'll go a bit deeper on this specifically, but this foundation energy, this Ace of Pentacles, represents having a solid foundation within the self, okay? Like, this is being able to come from a space of personal foundation and security, sense of self in the world, vision or purpose. And of course, this includes financial stability, or at least working towards and diligently building financial safety and security. So this is part of the energy, the responsibility of the masculine energy. It's just that it is more than the conversation we're currently having, right? It isn't just that you provide finances, it's actually providing a foundation altogether. So the way that I was thinking about it is like, if you had kind of farming, then seeing this Ace of Pentacles actually as the soil, the masculine energy / the male, providing the soil in which the feminine energy or female partner seeds, right, gives to, give creative ideas to. But it's about presenting the container for that to happen. It's also about having strategy with the Prince of Swords here, okay? Plans, ambitions, desires, okay? Intentions to put oneself out into the world. And it is knowledge of what actions, what activities, what things in life lead to death and failure and decline, and actually what things are made of passion and life and vitality. Okay, so this is all the domain of the masculine energy. Now, of course, it is our responsibility as all people to do that work for ourselves, but in terms of partnership, this is also let's say the level of mastery that the male / masculine energy presents. And the reason I'm saying male / masculine energy is because it doesn't have to be a person gendered as male, okay? It can be someone who functions quite easily or quite strongly in that role in their lives. And so in partnership, this is the gift they bring, this is the skill they bring, okay? Now, of course, both people need this skill, in my personal opinion, but it is one person may have more leadership in a certain skill. But let's keep moving. On the flip side, to bring balance, what's been happening is that the feminine energy, like I said, has been in the oppression energy, too much responsibility, where this has not been happening, where the masculine energy has not been showing up with foundation, with strategy, with wisdom, and a sense of how to cause something to grow, and what practices cause something to decline in life. So there's no real mastery of the creative energy, generally speaking, and so this creates a lot of burden and pressure on the feminine energy, because they are having to do both, right? We've got Empress energy here to be the creative void, the ideation, the intuition space, the activity or creativity that happens through non-external action. So it's a lot internally happening, or a lot spiritually happening, and then having to take up a lot of responsibility externally. Now, of course, I keep saying this, we all need to have that level of responsibility for ourselves, but this is about poor boundaries in relationship, okay? So this is talking about also taking up your more than your fair share of what is required to create the partnership together, okay? So this is doing for yourself and your partner. I saw a tweet today by I've forgotten the name, a friend of mine. I know his name, obviously. I didn't remember his Twitter handle. I didn't want to put his governments on the street like that. But when he said that a lot of women or wives, women are married but they don't have partners, right? And this is what I'm talking about, where it's like, yes, you may be in a relationship with someone. It might be a committed relationship, it might be a long-standing relationship, but are you functioning in every single role that is required to keep that relationship on the road, on the wheels together? So part of the reason this has been happening is the Wheel of Fortune and the Lover's energy here, which is really talking about the spiritual warfare, and I will go into this in a little bit more detail a bit later, but the spiritual warfare that is happening at the higher levels that attempts to block the anchoring, I'm doing it the wrong way, block the anchoring in, or the expression, the experience of the Lover's card, the Lover's energy here, okay? So this template, this blueprint, let's say, it's a better word, this blueprint for healthy love and partnership being opposed constantly at the higher levels. And whilst I won't get into it too deeply here, this also is part of the work and the purpose of those who are truly caught in a divine lover / twin flame path, okay? Because it is their work to heal what is broken in terms of our blueprint of love partnership and our blueprint of each energy, and to learn and demonstrate how to yin yang, how to balance partnership in ways that reflect the divinity of creativity, the ways that reflect the balanced nature of God as creator. Let's go a little further. So if we can acknowledge that for the most part, the feminine energy has been having to take up more than their fair share of responsibility in partnership, and then of course this speaks to women specifically, definitely in terms of our current culture, then what is the domain, like what is the role, the responsibility of the feminine / the female in relationship, in partnership? Well, one of the cards, the first messages we have here is this Nine of Pentacles, and this is really speaking about the need to cultivate oneself, okay? Your own path, your own journey, your own energy. Now, this isn't a bigger, higher, or bigger burden or responsibility than the masculine who had the Ace of Pentacles, and that Ace came up a lot as I was asking this morning, like repeatedly. It's not more burden than the masculine. It's actually just a different vibration, okay? I want to make that clear. It's not that masculine has one and we have to do 9. Okay, it's not hierarchical in that sense. It's a different field of experience. So this is about independence, this is about self-reliance, this is about confidence. This is the ability to stand on your own in full acknowledgement of your self-worth, of what you have to offer in the world, and of yourself as a unique, separate creative force, you know, like a unique form and expression of God in this world. And it is also about worldliness here, literally with the universe card here. This is speaking to worldly knowledge, worldly wisdom too, that the feminine energy must cultivate. And that worldliness is about having a vision for the partnership, a vision for family life, a vision for cultivating and growing the partnership from the 2 to the 10, okay? So we have that 2 energy as partnership, we have the 3 energy as the creative energy, and then it's about what do we do, how do we set up systems, how do we organize our lives in ways that can support support this energy, this family energy in terms of growth. And it is about, therefore, I love this card, prudence. It's about, therefore, being practical and grounded in the actions and steps that lead to this, okay? That is actually part of the worldly wisdom of the feminine energy, okay? Now, this isn't just the responsibility of women here, because part of having this as the masculine energy is participating in the healthy building of partnership, okay? Having a vision for what healthy partnership looks like, what family life looks like, what parenting looks like, etc., 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 and then being able to take practical action on it, okay? This is our feminine energy in all parts. For the feminine energy specifically, and for women specifically, there is also the sense of being able to recognize the masculine energy externally. Now, we know that because we have that inside ourselves. And so, of course, if I refer to myself, who I'm increasingly becoming more balanced in both, I am a provider, I am a creator, I have economic stability and security, which I create and generate for myself, as much as I am intuitive, as much as I am creative, as much as I'm a healer of the body, as much as I have connection to the earth, as much as I have all of the opposite end of that spectrum, I also have the external, I have a position in the world, I have status, etc. And so knowing what that looks like and feels like, knowing my ability to function in that way, is also what helps me to recognize the masculine energy outside of myself, okay, the presence of it in another person and the lack thereof, okay? And this is where it comes in. Queen of Swords, discernment. Are we seeing, even in the way this, the brightness of that, and I've got the lights off, it's literally just the brightness from outside, hitting this card, okay? Do we see the sun? Do we see God literally in our partners? Do we see God expressed in the actions and behaviors of our partners or not? You know, Queen of Swords, do we cut because we see a void of that masculine energy and our desire not to do more, not to generate more masculine energy than is already within ourselves in a healthy balance for us, okay? Okay. So with that worldliness, with that knowledge, then the feminine energy is able to move forward. Prince of Pentacles in a practical, you know, I don't know why I'm struggling for words so much today, but in a, in a logical manner, in ways that are grounded in reality, we can make choices based on that wisdom and that knowledge. Okay, so we move in ways that enact that vision for ourselves. Okay, we live according to that vision, we decide according to that vision. So coming back to the masculine energy then, both in all of us, but also as individual external energy, the masculine can actually break through the karma, the blocks and the traps, the stuck energy, the broken template of love and family and partnership that I referred to in the beginning, by going on this journey of offering this Ace of Pentacles, okay, this foundation, and offering love, the journey of love, the willingness to extend oneself in love. That is part of the purpose here of the masculine energy. And in so doing, the masculine energy is able to change and transform the abandonment, the separation, and the scarcity that is riddling our partnership energy at the moment, okay? That brings the change and transformation. What does that look like more specifically? Well, it begins with the Hierophant energy here, Taurus energy. So even, I love that it comes up as Taurus energy because the Empress energy is, you know, Venus in Taurus / Venus in Libra, okay? So it contains some of this, there's resonance in the energy. So this is having faith, this is having integrity, this is being in one's own authority, and this is also leading a life that is an example of the internal spiritual beliefs, okay? This is having a code of conduct, this is having, let's say, I guess integrity is the best word, but I love this kind of energy when I watch films, for example, you know, like someone who has a an ethos, a set of ethics that they live by. They're principled, okay, and living according to that internal spiritual conviction and showing up with integrity and authority on the basis of that, being able to take action, make plans. But with the Six of Swords, it's for the whole community, okay? It's for the broader society. So it's using this spiritual vision, this spiritual perspective as we cultivate this strong sense of self to establish an external life that is a expression of their inner spirituality, and then to act in ways and make plans that is of benefit to the whole community. It is being willing to commit the two energy again to love, connection, and partnership as a solid foundation for the experience of this level of spirituality, okay, as a microcosm, a smaller scale expression of the bigger scale calling and gift. And it is about having the vitality, the passion, the willpower to move towards success and victory and all of these things in life, okay? It's impetus. So this is all part of the energy that the masculine is providing. So the feminine energy is having the worldliness, having that sense of independence, standing on one's own self, strongly cultivated inner masculine, able to view and understand what the external masculine looks like. And then I've described to you exactly what that is, okay? That's what you're looking for in the world, masculine energy. That's what you're seeking to be. And one of the major challenges here is that many people are struggling to find healthy masculine energy as an external expression in partnership, okay? So I mean finding people with their masculine energy intact, whole and strong and ready to contribute that. And of course, if that's the case in terms of external partnership, then we know that our internal masculine energy is very underdeveloped. Okay, so why is that? Well, it really is about a level of spiritual tap that's been happening. So we have this Four of Swords here and this Five of Cups, okay? This is exhaustion, this is depression, this is feeling like the battles in life are relentless, that things are always coming at us, struggling to hold on, struggling to rise above our difficulties, feeling like there are always waves or weight on top of us. That is in terms of our own masculine energy, but specifically masculine energy externally, specifically men, particularly black men or marginalized men, really dealing with that. But definitely the subordination of masculinity internally is there for many of us. And really the way through is this Two of Air card here, which is actually for me the card of the narrow path. So this is talking about air and water together. This is literally spiritual perspective. That is it, but it is not an easy path to find. It is the smaller path. You can see this tiny gap in between here. There is a kind of meeting of minds needing to come to higher perspective, and this reflection is about understanding the as above so below. It is understanding, okay, if I'm having these major difficulties with my economic stability, with my emotional well-being, with trauma states, with broken relationships, with troubles in my family, there is something happening on a spiritual level that is kind of filtering down into this. And so I need to cultivate a spiritual practice. I need to go on a spiritual journey that leads me out of that. And it leads into the Nine of Pentacles. Now note, this was also the energy in the card that the feminine had of needing to cultivate for themselves. So the masculine energy does not skip this stage. They also need it, okay? And this is about needing to go on a journey to cultivating the self, developing the self, self-actualization. Because only once that has happened can the masculine come with the Ace of Pentacles, have something to give, okay, to the more receptive energy who takes and creates. Cool? Which is why, of course, the message continues to be with this earth element here, with the Ace of Pentacles card, that yes, the masculine energy slash person is supposed to give in partnership, is supposed to come to partnership with a foundation in place. That is their responsibility. So I am not saying it's fine for someone to be a complete disarray and lost in their lives and entirely unable to provide for themselves, and come to you and you're supposed to accept that as some sort of spiritual practice. That's not true. But there is work that goes behind that having the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is also for the benefit of the relationship as a whole, for the growth of the family and therefore the community. It isn't so that the feminine energy can then take that and chill. Okay, I'll come to that in a minute. So that's what's happening on the lower level for the feminine, so for the masculine energy. On the higher level, confirmation again, spiritual attack, this card is, okay? And it really is a battle over the earth dimension, over the 3D sphere. So it's like almost trying to keep, with the Ogun energy here, it's like almost trying to keep you out of your inheritance, keep you out of what is the space of your domain or your rulership. If we use kind of like the biblical story of Adam and Eve, we might think about the serpent coming and kind of deceiving them and then them falling and being cast out of the garden, for example. So it's like this energy of constantly trying to keep you away from what is yours, away from what your inheritance is spiritually, and unable to really root down and ground into the material experience and grow and develop here and create change in this world. That's what the battle is over. And so there continues to be spiritual sickness at that level, which is manifesting physically in the ways I described here: exhaustion, depression, not being able to move forward, okay, etc., etc. So this is really the picture of what is going on, particularly directed at the masculine energy. And I've always attack against the feminine energy, but I may come to that, or I do talk about that often. So this is what is happening at the male body and at the masculine energy level. So it's really important that we're aware of this spiritually. So there are those of us working on the blocks and the distortion to masculine energy in our personal lives, and then there is also men specifically who are going on the journey to healing, literally healing their own life path, their own experience. It is a solo journey with the Fool card here, okay? This is really a journey that you have to embark on your own, the hero's path, so to speak. It cannot be facilitated, or maybe facilitated is the wrong word, but it cannot be co-opted, or you cannot walk with the masculine energy doing this, or the masculine person. It has to be done alone. It involves a lot of introspection, contemplation, meditation, introversion, healing work that is about looking deeply into the self and understanding what is happening on an internal level. It is also here about the healing and the opening up of the heart space, coming back into the safety to feel and to express care and nurturance from the energy of the masculine, not the feminine, but it's finding the masculine expression of these things here. Okay, and through that it is cultivating stability, purpose, and a place in the world. Okay, it's knowing one's place here, being rooted here on earth in our day-to-day lives with open hearts, okay, willing to give to the experience of life. And so here we have the death and rebirth energy, okay, and the King of Pentacles. So this is really the healing process. Is it dying to the old self and being born again or born new? As the King of Pentacles, which also is guardian and protector energy, okay, it's becoming stewards of ourselves and of this world, of the earth that we're given, knowing that there's so much battling over this space and over contorting and distorting the love dynamic in this space, but being willing to be a light in the darkness, basically, as we come through this rebirthing energy. So for men specifically as well, the Man card we have here, the Star card, and the Two of Fire, this is my card of spiritual initiation. This is a period, it is a process of spiritual initiation or ascension. It is an awakening process, an enlightenment process. It is coming to full consciousness of self. It is passing through the door here. I love that this door is green, because I really thought that the way the door, the path through, is actually through the heart, okay? So it's passing, opening up the heart, passing through the pain and the corridors of the heart, learning the recesses of the heart, the desires of the heart, the higher dimensional, multi-dimensional connections that our heart gives us. And through that, Ace of Pentacles, it's like coming back into power. What did I talk about before? The masculine energy, they must have Ace of Pentacles to give, okay? And so this is about really taking back their place Okay, it's not about them paying your bills. It's such an oversimplification of the energy. This is about taking back one's place in the order of things, in the as a role in the world, as being responsible for the healing of this earth, or being responsible for the healing of our communities, or being responsible for strong foundations in our community. Okay, it's like understanding that. And so here we have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, ability to be in the creative energy, ability to be a co-creator of oneself, by oneself, whoops, fully expressed in the form of the Ace of Cups and the Sun card here. Okay, this is what the masculine gains through the men specifically, as they're needing to heal right now, through this spiritual initiation process that they must do alone. Okay, it is gaining these two things, gaining the fire and gaining the water. Okay, the spirit, the passion, the vitality, the sensitivity, the love, the connection that must open up. Okay, so for men specifically, but also those who refuse to work on the transformation of the masculine energy, bringing it back into balance and power, what that really brings, especially in the context of partnership, is death, confusion, theft energetically here. Okay, to the feminine energy, it's such a problem. It creates problems. It's partnerships that seeds problems. Okay, opens roads to problems, but particularly to death. It is decay in the relationship energy. Okay, it brings in karma, heavy energy, karmic bonds, let's say, curses, down, cycling downwards. That's what the energy is here, bringing heavy energy, like I said, spiritual energy that is low vibrational and cycling the evolution process, the ascension process, your spiritual growth process for both partners downward. Okay, it brings the energy of disruption, separation, and abandonment to the feminine energy here. So it's a major problem, and this is partly why those of us who are primarily functioning or have mastery of the feminine energy, and those of us who are women specifically, learn how to recognize healthy masculine energy. Because if we don't, this is the experience we end up having, coming into contact literally with death. Okay, now it isn't just the masculine energy or men that create or are responsible for the damaging of the healthy blueprint of love and partnership. I want to talk a little bit about what unhealed and unhealthy feminine energy can look like in the context of partnership too. So firstly, with the Ace of Cups here, this is actually entitlement. Okay, holding one's hand out, expecting to receive more so than having the capacity for giving, wanting to take. And then also, once love has been offered, or is being even love, once the whatever is being given, right, given from the heart of the masculine energy slash the male, is taken and used and abused and causes heartbreak, to be honest. Okay, so it's carelessness, it's lack of appreciation, it's entitlement, it is a willingness to cause hurt and damage. Okay, it is also, with this Temperance card here, not acknowledging similarly the extent at which the masculine is going to maintain the balance, the alchemy of the relationship. So it is actually Four of Cups, squandering what is being poured in. And it's funny because I watch Love and Hip Hop, obviously most of you know that about me, and when I saw these cards, the first couple I thought of was Jen and whatever that Fresher, that's what he was called in Love and Hip Hop New York. And Fresher's a hot mess, okay? I'm gonna call it as it is. Very entirely lacking in masculine energy. But Jen is this, okay? Because as we could see, I'll give you the example, when Fresher was in debt and struggling, she had visions of grandeur of them going into more debt to buy a home, buying, just living extremely beyond their means, pouring out whatever was of value in the the relationship. When he had the court case with the woman that he was cheating with and she was attempting to negotiate, Jen was willing to kind of blow that all up out of ego. Okay, so this is really unhealed healthy feminine unhealed feminine energy, which is about being destructive. Okay, taking what is whole and damaging it here with the Three of Swords, and then taking what is of value and literally squandering it here. So what is required in the healing process? First of all, Ace of Swords, truth, coming into recognition that that is the energy that you have. Okay, that maybe you are heartless, maybe you are cold-hearted, maybe you don't know how to care for the hearts of others, and recognizing that you may be entitled, expectant, functioning under like princess energy, and that what is given to you, you squander. Okay, and it is therefore recognizing the need to mature spiritually, emotionally, mentally with the World card, and having to go on the journey and open yourself up to the experiences that bring that maturity to you. Again, just like the masculine, this is a solo journey with this Page of Wands here. It's about going on a journey to reclaim your power and get your power back. Now, it doesn't mean single. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to break up with your partner to go on this maturation process, but what it does mean is that you take full responsibility for your personal growth. Okay, that is the solo element of it, but it's recognizing actually there is a need to gain, just like we said earlier, the worldliness, the wisdom, the experience here. It is also about acknowledging the lack of satisfaction and personal confusion about what you desire, what you want, where you are, and therefore the ways that you project that onto somebody else to give to you, someone else to create safety and stability for you, someone else to pay your bills and get you gifts, someone else to make you feel good and just give you sweet nothings and have sex with you. And it's like deriving all of your sense of security, safety, and pleasure from someone else. That comes from an internal confusion and lack of sense of self. Okay, you don't know who you are, what you want, or what you're here to do. So it's about taking a step back and being like, hey, in what ways am I able to understand my needs, my desires, my own inherent creativity when it comes to pleasure, okay, and cultivating an emotional life and strength, stability, and security here. And in then doing, it is about coming into a place of working, doing the healing work to bring balance back, internal balance with the Four of Wands here, okay, bringing the self back into balance, okay, being willing to cultivate your own life here, to bring growth to your life, to bring fruit, birth, new life to where you are. It is also waking up with the Queen of Wands to your spiritual power here, your ability to direct, to create, to channel the flow of the energy in your life. It is also about literally waking up with this trumpet card in the form of Judgment to patterns of codependency and bringing an end to them, where instead you can have shared vision, shared partnership, shared responsibility for what it is you do in terms of love, connection, and partnership, family life with others. Okay, it is ending the codependency and revisioning, coming back to your concept of the world together. So whilst I won't go too deep in this, I do want to give you a small peek into why this is very important and why it doesn't come easily, because we are actually being opposed in the practice of this, okay? There is resistance against it. There is definitely spiritual warfare over the earth space. Like I said, over this dimension, over this plane that we live in, there is a battle. This Seven of Fire represents this battle. This moon card This moon card represents it being done in the darkness, the hidden space, and this dwarves and gnomes is talking about it being over the earth. Okay, there is a battle over the earth, and much of it is played out over the karma experience in our personal lives, but definitely over the love and partnership energy, because love and partnership is so healing and transformational. Love is God, literally. It's God in us, it's God through us. So decimating love is one of the ways that this war is fought. So this is the spark, the divine spark. This is the 3 energy. This is the value that we have in our lives here on earth when we're able to function through this sense of divine creativity. And then we get the Ace of Fire, the lion energy here, and we get the devil energy. So there's literally a battle over us, okay? There's an ongoing battle. When I saw the lion card too, it also made me think of, for those of you who've seen Narnia, like Aslan, okay? It's this idea of the great white lion, okay, cosmic energy, divine energy, battling the devil here over us, over this domain. And just to go a tiny bit further, like I said, I won't go too deep here. I don't know if you're all ready for it, but there is the energy of karma with the Baba Larisha card here, and this is really talking about karma, consequence, cause and effect, okay? Bondage, responsibility to settle debt spiritually, that has come through ritual, that has come through practices done in the past, that's come through contracts made, agreements made, curses made, hexes made. And in many ways, it has been over the masculine energy, as we see here with the Ashala card, and also this 4 of fire, okay? And what it has been about is really removing the spiritual connection of the masculine energy so that it devolves back down into its animal state, primal only, okay? Only capable of serving the lowest, basest desires, not having a higher sense of self, not being able to ascend and cycle up, okay? This is almost altering of the DNA here. I won't go too far, but I'm saying, okay, this is what has been happening, and as a result, you have the Ashun card here, feminine energy. Whilst there is protection, guardian angel over the feminine energy, it/they/she continues to be alone. Alone. You see this? Separated in this sea from the masculine energy, continuing to hinder our love and partnership blueprint. And so this is what we're dealing with, and that's why I like to remind us that it's more than will you cook for me and will you pay my bills. There's more at stake here. Let me have some water. So to wrap up, I'm going to pull a few cards and see if there's anything Spirit wants to say to us as I close. Like I said, we will maybe get more into defining the 2 energies, but I wanted to start really with thinking about how they're playing out in our intimate relationships as a dynamic, and then we can kind of build backwards from there. Let's give this a little bit more of a shuffle. Spirit, is there anything you want to say in close, or any advice, any wisdom after what we've heard? I love it. We have the 6 of Wands here. This is talking about us actually having the victory. Look at that. Devil on the bottom, okay? We do have victory over the devil. It's almost like it's already been done, to be honest. We're just walking the timeline. But we have victory over this devil energy in our partnerships. But with the 9 of Wands, it requires us to hold the line, hold the vibration, hold the healing. And so for many of us too, it's about not compromising as we start to heal and not falling back into those broken templates, okay? It is learning something new and pushing into the new, birthing into the new. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. We have the Knave, really Page of Swords here. This is, like I said, learning new ways of doing things. Ace of Pentacles, okay. Creating foundations out of that newness. Rebuilding out of those new concepts. And then 4 of Pentacles, giving it, letting it take root, letting it become stable, letting it become the new ethos, the new way of being. Cool. So drop me a comment. You know, you can tweet about this and tweet me, Leonanicholeblack, on Twitter, if you want to talk about this more, anything I said, and let's really open up the conversation here and really explore how we can continue both to heal the feminine and masculine internally, and how we can transform the blueprint of love and partnership that we're doing. I love you. Thank you so much for listening. If you're not already joining me for tarot therapy every Monday, sometimes I change it, so join my mailing list on my website so that you can keep up to date with when I'm doing it, or check out on Instagram. I'll let you know, but typically on a Monday every week I do tarot therapy from 7:30 p.m. GMT, live on Instagram, and we just kind of talk the things. Okay, so hopefully I will see you there. Take care, my loves.